Of Denver, Andre Coleman, one of the top kick returners in all of football, awaits his chance. The Chargers as successful the last couple of years as anyone in the league, more successful in returning kicks for touchdowns. Elam gets it started. High spinner, 6-yard line. Coleman tries to get outside. And the former Kansas State star knocked out of bounds shy of the 30-yard line. Elam himself was in on the tackle. Here comes Stan Humphries and the San Diego offense. Big forward wall of Parker, Moten, Courtney Hall, Davis, and Birdie, who played at Colorado. Humphries has Leonard Russell. He was the top runner in Denver 2 years ago. Tony Martin, one of the top pass catchers in the NFL. Andre Coleman, you just saw. Shannon Mitchell and Alfred Papunu as they use the tight end H-back concept. Martin out to the right, Coleman left. Shannon Mitchell lined up at fullback. He's the H-back. Russell nailed in the backfield by Michael Dean Perry. Lightning quick Perry playing as light as he's been since a college sophomore. Williams, Lodish, and Alfred Williams with 4.5 sacks join Perry in the 4-3 alignment. Mobley, the rookie from Kutztown State. Aldridge, Romanowski, what a find he has been here in Denver. Crockett in Washington, Atwater and Braxton, veteran defensive backfield. A loss of 3. Second down, Humphries. The blitz by Aldridge, and the throw incomplete. As Humphries ducked by Alan Aldridge, number 57. And we welcome those of you who have watched the upset in South Florida. Seattle 22, the Dolphins 15. Just underway here at Mile High Stadium. Third play of the game. The Chargers lose 3 on first down running, and Humphries lucky that he's still alive after being decked on a blitz. Third down, and down he goes. What a defensive start for Denver. Jumpy Geathers using that forklift technique, just driving the blocker into the backfield.
Jumpy Geathers, I mean, he just takes the offensive lineman right back to the quarterback. Watch the jump that he gets on the ball. Boom. He's in, he's back. Moten has no chance with him. He just takes Moten right back to the quarterback.
4th sack of the season for Geathers. A long punt by Tom Ruin. Took that to Darren Bennett. And here comes Todd Kinchin to the sidelines, and Kinchin tackled at the 29-yard line. A 56-yard kick by the Pro Bowler Darren Bennett. John Elway comes aboard with the Bronco offense. Zimmerman, Schlereth, he has a bad ankle. Nalen, Habib, and Thompson, one of the smaller lines in the NFL. Terrell Davis, the NFL's top rusher. Reggie Rivers for Aaron Craver. Miller's the long bomb threat. McCaffrey is the possession receiver. Shannon Sharp leads the team in catches with 26. 44-year-old Mike Shanahan, he scripts the first 15 plays or so. Miller in motion, the former Charger. Davis off tackle to the 31, a gain of a couple. Into the teeth of that San Diego. Linebackers Bush and Govea, the former Redskin. Junior Seau, brilliant again this year. Harper and Shaw at the corners. Harrison and the veteran Kevin Ross at safety. Junior Seau off his 2-interception, 12-tackle game a week ago in the victory against Kansas City.
And 1 sack.
Davis. Govea meets him. And second effort by Davis earned. That's what Romanowski provides as a newcomer to Denver's defense.
Attitude.
Elway from shotgun. Lots of time. And Elway runs for the first down and takes a lift. Bush and David Hendricks hit Elway. 13-yard scramble.
Excellent job of the Charger defense covering all the receivers, but what they forget, the defensive linemen for the Chargers, stay in your lanes. John Elway still can pull that ball down and run for the first down, does an excellent job of getting to the yardage stick and trying to get down.
Well, one thing that happens, too, on that play, though, Dick, is that when you take the back out of the backfield, they know it's a pass play, so all the linebackers are gone. And when they're gone, that opens it up for Elway to run.
First down, it's Davis. Up the middle for a couple, maybe 3 to the 49-yard line. Sean Lee gets his 300. And they start, when you hear the descriptive phrases for Davis, intelligent, works hard, terrific blocker, great team player, it's almost like it's a copy of Marcus Allen.
In this day and age, it's almost too good to be true. You say all those good things, but
gets some big gains, second to only Barry Sanders in 10-yard-plus runs. Elway out of the backfield to Davis. Also a good receiver. Tripped up. Good tackle by Gouveia. Saved another 10 yards as Davis was headed upfield.
Well, you saw that.
And he said he's as good a blocker as anyone he's ever seen as a running back with Marcus Allen. Elway again, good protection. Goes deep for Miller. Incomplete. Eric Castle covering for the Chargers. So the Broncos bring on the punting team. Tom Ruin.
Excellent job of the Chargers defense. 3rd and 8. They do a good job of staying back, not committing. Really, nobody's open. John Elway throws a safe ball to the outside that can't be caught.
Ruin kicked at Colorado up at Boulder, averaging 43. Darian Gordon took one back 81 yards last week against Kansas City. Very high, dying spiral, looking up in that bright sunshine. Gordon with a fair catch at the 18-yard line. San Diego Chargers, Gordon's touchdown last week. Look what they have
during the season for you. And when you got that kind of a production out of your special teams, that helps you win.
Humphreys out of the backfield, incomplete. Well thrown, but Leonard Russell couldn't pull it in. Bill Romanowski covering for Denver. Romanowski, we talked about team chemistry in the pregame show, and Romanowski really brings some assets in that regard to that defense.
Dick, he brings everything. Talent, hustle, smart, and it's rubbed off on a lot of his teammates, and Mike Shanahan just thinks it's such a valuable pickup during the offseason. Him and Alfred Williams, they have turned this defense around.
Throws complete to Martin, and that's the first positive play for the Chargers. A first down on a 20-yard roll and throw to Martin, who leads the Chargers. That's his 34th catch.
What they do here is they take Jumping Gathers, who's here, and they cut him. Watch him at the line of scrimmage. They just cut him down, but he also gets back in the quarterback's face.
Well, and something that people do not give credit to Stan Humphries. He's able to move around and get by himself time and throw the ball down the field. Tony Martin, given that extra time, will get open most of the time.
No score, 9:27 left, first quarter. Leonard Russell flagged down, and Russell tackled
The way he was blocked from behind, so he let Omar know.
And it cost the Broncos 15 yards that they would have gotten on the Ellison penalty. First down. Papunu in motion. Down the middle, wide open Papunu. He's to the 24-yard line. Ray Crockett saved the touchdown. 38-yard throw.
Alfred Papunu does an excellent job. He's moving around in the backfield, and he creates the defense. Watch him right here come across, go down the middle, the safety split. Stan Humphries sees it. Good play-action fake, keeps the linebackers underneath. And look at that hole down the middle.
Well, the guy that he had down the middle was Mobley, number 51, the linebacker, and he ends up trying to cover him man-to-man. You see him chasing, can't get there.
Papunu's 15th catch of the year. Another good throw. The tight end has it once again. Papunu, who was born in Tonga. He's used to the rarefied air. Went to Salt Lake City High School and then eventually to Weber State. No one picked him. No one drafted him out of Weber State.
Well, San Diego is like the old Washington Redskins. They love tight ends. They just can't have enough of them. And last week they had 5 of them on the roster. This week they only got 4. But Again, talking about San Diego, their passing game.
High Stadium, 76,000 rabid fans to see this rivalry renewed. And Bobby Ross's Chargers, after a dismal first sequence of series where they were smothered by the Denver defense, have gone to the passing game. 2 receptions to the tight end Papunu, and San Diego has the ball first down at the Denver 14. No score, 7:45 left, first period. Leonard Russell turned the corner. Alan Aldridge got to him, the middle linebacker for Denver.
You know, Phil talked about this the last time we did Denver, and also before this game too, is the speed on defense for the Denver Broncos. Their linebackers are very, very active.
And that's one of the reasons why, Paul, it's so hard to get outside. Even if you block the contain man, the backside people on defense will run you down.
Greg Robinson constructs the defensive strategy for Mike Shanahan. Russell spins away from one man and gets inside the 10-yard line. Alfred Williams made contact in the backfield. It'll be third down and about 4.
I think so much of Jumpy Gathers that what they did on that play, they had 2 guys blocking. They're double teaming him and let Alfred Williams make the play. Watch this. Watch the double team right there. They double team Jumpy, and then inside comes Williams, and Alfred Williams, and makes a play.
It's a short 5, closer to 4. Humphreys into the end zone, incomplete. Charlie Jones, the rookie from Fresno State, had a mitt on it, couldn't pull it in.
But what San Diego and Stan Humphreys were trying to do right there is throw the ball before the defender turns around. The defender, number 48, Lionel Washington, they really get the situation they want right there, but Stan Humphreys overthrows it. He knows he had a touchdown.
Well, did he ever? I mean, that thing was perfect.
27-yard field goal attempt then by John Carney. Was 5 for 5 last week. Won it at against Kansas City, named the AFC Special Teams Player of the Month.
Added protection for severe driving conditions. And by United Airlines and its more than 50,000 employee owners. Come fly our friendly skies.
Chamber of Commerce Day in Denver. 3-0 San Diego on a 27-yard John Carney field goal. Now Carney to kick it off. Vaughn Hebron, Virginia Tech, stands at the goal line. At the 1-yard line, Hebron. Speeding, darts through to the 34. Well done by Hebron, tackled by Terrence Shaw. Shanahan building a solid Denver team and knows that here at Mile High Stadium, this Bronco club, even in lean years, very difficult to beat. John Elway trailing 3-0 at the 34. Backfield vacant as Davis in motion. Wide open underneath the tight end Byron Chamberlain, and the big guy was twisting away from tacklers. Got away from Rodney Harrison, and a first down. 13 on the play. We talked about how successful Denver has been at home, and since 1974, no one in the NFL with a better home record. The Steelers, Miami, Dallas, and Washington to follow. Almost 3 out of every 4 games played here at home, Denver wins.
Well, gets the air.
You know, you got the altitude, you got the fans, but it also tells me had a lot of good football teams here.
Well, Davis so far held in check. Davis, who has 656 yards from scrimmage, 573 of those rushing to lead the NFL, but so far 4 carries, 7 yards. And the Broncos and Davis, number 1 running team in football. Again, Davis in motion. Rivers into the pattern underneath to Anthony Miller, and the former Charger tackled immediately by Rodney Harrison at the 50-yard line.
Well, the Charger defense came into this game ranked 30th in the league, but it's a little misleading because they have excellent players, and Rodney Harrison does an excellent job of reading John Elway's eyes and reacting up to the ball.
Now here's Junior Seau coming up. Now watch, they see him on a blitz, and watch what they do. They turn him, you just get back, and go ahead and make the play. That was Mark Schlereth who was blocking on him. Did a great job.
Shotgun Elway, 3rd and 6. Oops, Davis started that field before the snap. The throw. Well, finger clipped by Shannon Sharp, and Sharp out of bounds at the 26-yard line, but I believe it'll come back. Davis turned upfield before the snap.
Shirt off. That guy, and I took my shirt off and he got sick.
Yeah.
But he, you know, this guy, there is not an ounce of fat on him. You know,
That's an understatement. That's a body you'd put on the cover of one of those fitness magazines.
unbelievable.
A tight end that weighs only 225, but it is all muscle. 3rd and 11 for Elway. Gets out of trouble again. What a play, and then Miller denied by Terrence Shaw. Shaw getting a finger on the Elway pass. Chris Mims in on Elway. Couldn't. And tackled at the 19-yard line by Glenn Cadrez, the linebacker. 41 on the punt, 7 on the return. 47-7 in the first quarter. 3:50 left in this period, opening period. Aaron Hayden from Tennessee, who has rushed for 152 yards this year, and Mike Lodish made the stop for Denver. Junior Seau sucking up some 0-2 on the sidelines. How many games did you play here, Phil?
Twice I played here. And Dick, the altitude was never a problem for me, of course, because I didn't run around that much, but it bothered the receivers, and it bothered the offensive linemen a lot because they're always exerting energy.
Second down, Humphries on the rear. Tries to throw it. No one there except linemen, so had to eat it as Mawa Kanavulasa makes the play. 11-yard sack for the former University of Hawaii star.
You can see the penetration right there, and what San Diego's doing, they're rolling out, trying to give Stan Humphrey some extra time. Not a very good job on the San Diego offensive line.
We have a lot of fans who watch our games out on the islands, and there's one of the former high school and college stars. Beekman is on now. Screen it to Terrell Fletcher. Fletcher with a couple good moves, looks for a block, and tripped up at the 18-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you, Michael Dean Perry read that thing perfectly. He didn't make the tackle, but he didn't have to because it gave everyone else a chance to get to the runner. That was just a great play by the defensive line. They only had a 3-man rush on the play.
Oh, here's the guy you like to watch, Darren Bennett. His last punt was 66 yards, tying his career high.
He may kick that thing out of here. You know, he goes back to Gerald Wilson of Kansas City with the power kicker. I mean, he just flat powers his ball out of here.
He pounds one deep. And Kinchin on the sidelines turns away from pressure and then is tackled at the 30-yard line. 59 yards on that 7 return.
I'll just say, look at him, Dick. I mean,
There's the winner.
First down, Broncos at their 30. At the 33, a gain of 3. Kevin Ross, former Kansas City star and an unrestricted free agent picked by the Chargers.
We have not mentioned Junior Seau's name so far. We talked about him in the opening, and you talk about him for weeks when you're going to see him play. But here's what they're doing to Junior Seau. He steps up. He sees
better than ever that he's mature, that he knows his assignment, not trying to do everyone else's. Elway again steps for pressure. Terrell Davis, first down at the 42. Seau with his first tackle. Defensive lineman. Defensive flash to go with Cordell Stewart of Pittsburgh. Elway rockets one to McCaffrey at the 50-yard line. Harper with a tackle, 8 yards. Lou Bush led the charge defensively. A reminder, next Saturday, Tradition of Notre Dame football returns to NBC Sports. Third and 3, direct snap. Oh, that did not fool the Chargers. Direct snap to Terrell Davis, and Junior Seau was there.
He said, Junior Seau said, if Davis comes up.
Catch Gordon at the 18-yard line. Chargers ball, early second quarter. San Diego leads it 3-0.
And by Aetna Retirement Services. Build for retirement, manage for life.
Outside of the Rocky Mountain area, if you were to ask an NFL fan who leads the league in sacks, Might be shocked. Denver has 22, 2 of those today. Stan Humphries underneath, incomplete. Intended for Hayden.
Well, Dick, talking about those sacks, it's just a new attitude that this Bronco defense has. Get to the quarterback, and if we can't do it with 4 people, we'll bring an extra couple, and we'll make him hurry his throws.
You know what we're seeing here with these two teams, and we kind of thought about it yesterday, talked about it yesterday, we were going to see it, how the two very disciplined defenses.
And Denver, from 28th to 3rd in the last couple of seasons. Maybe a yard. Steve Atwater, as Stan Humphrey said, they ought to give him a 50 number the way he plays.
He should have a 50 number on him, and I think he would like that. But Steve Atwater, back here, the Chargers are going to run. When you cut back, there's nobody to block the safety. Watch him, comes up. Nothing he likes more than an open shot on the running back.
We asked Junior Sale yesterday. We just mentioned Steve Atwater. He said, that's my best buddy. He said, now that guy is a player.
Well, they both have made the Pro Bowl the last 6 years. 3rd and long. Humphrey to the sideline, tackled and dropped by Andre Coleman.
Boy, it's a classic case. I mean, you see it every week, but you should never see it from a veteran player. Don't run before you get the ball, and this is what he does. I mean, a quarterback scrambling, running for his life back there, and then they throw you the ball. His head is turned to look upfield to see who's going to hit him. But I'm going to tell you one thing. When you talk to receivers in San Diego or any team that plays Denver, they are aware of where Steve Atwater is.
Go 4th and 10, and Bennett with 2 big punts already. Todd Kinchin acquired from the Rams just before the start of the season.
Wow.
Oh, look at this one. What a spiral. Chases Kinchin to the 15-yard line. To the 30, flag down. Kinchin finally brought down at midfield, but I believe it's coming back. A 66-yard punt, so he's got 2 66s. There you go. Denver starts at the 9 after the penalty on the kick return. Elway. Complete to Terrell Davis to the 15-yard line. Gouveia makes a solid hit after a 6-yard pass play.
Phil, if you're going to run Terrell Davis, I don't care how good a back you are, you've got to have somebody back there to block for him. I mean, every time he's carried the ball, he's been a single back in the backfield.
And not only do you need a lead blocker to have a successful running game, but you also need a lead blocker for misdirection, to deceive the defense sometimes, send them different directions. Denver has not done that today.
Denver ran for 158 in the first 5 games, an average of almost 5 per carry. Becomes his primary target. First down at the 27.
No, you're absolutely right. When Elway steps up, good things happen most of the time for Denver. And when he does step up like he does here, Phil, look out.
And pats the ball, then you know he really is ready.
Well, yeah, that's right. Then you know it's coming about 100 miles an hour. So brace yourself.
Oh, 12 yards on that pass play to Davis. And we talked about the likenesses of Marcus Allen, a terrific receiver as well. Unable to pull it in, Shannon Sharp. It's not a catch, not a catch. Well, John Elway barking out the signals. Byron Chamberlain, not Sharp, the intended receiver.
Just to show you how complicated it can be in the National Football League. Look at this play. Far west right slot, A right, 322 scad, Y stick seam, on 2.
What's that mean?
Well, far west right slot is the formation. A right tells the running back to go in motion. 322, 3-step drop. 22 is a protection for the offensive lineman. Y-stick seam tells the tight end to go up the field, try to pick the linebacker out. And the snap count is on 2.
That wasn't that play, obviously, but that just gives you an idea of what everyone that sticks their head in the huddle, they have to be alert to how they fit into that play.
All right, now what I want to know is this. He goes to the line of scrimmage, and they've got the perfect defense for that play. How do you get out of it? How do you audibilize? What does he say?
Well, he just calls the color, and he throws one number out there, and that changes everything. You run that play.
You mean like blue 28? That's it?
And they run 28, yes. Isn't it amazing?
Let's hear it as Elway from the shotgun. Perfect throw by Elway.
You were talking about the play when Humphries threw it into Charlie Jones in the end zone. You say you throw it right off his back shoulder. Look at this throw.
Rodney Harrison, excellent coverage, but he does not see the ball coming. Shannon Sharp does. That's why he makes the reception.
Yuri Elway check off, but that was just a phony call, right?
Right. There's a live color that every team has, and we do not know the live color for the Denver Broncos. So he says it. Be alert. That's when he changes the play.
Blue is the color there he used. Goes deep down the middle of Sharp, and it's intercepted on the deflection to Harrison. Harrison at the 40, 50, and he's to the 44-yard line before Tom Nail in the center can make the tackle. So mass coverage down the middle, and the deflection goes to Rodney Harrison, his first interception of the year.
Shannon Sharp is going down the middle of the field. John Elway does not do a good job of reading the coverage. The safeties are not full. They're sitting there waiting for the ball. They're reading the quarterback. Makes the interception quite easy.
But the little things, Gouveia keeps it alive by batting the ball up, knowing that he had nothing but white jerseys around.
Well, and you know that because you wonder why these guys do tip drills every day in practice. Defensive backs and linebackers. That is one of the reasons. Gouveia kept the ball alive, and they got the interception.
Leonard Russell, short yardage. The Chargers have had a very positive turnover ratio this year. Coming into the game, second in the AFC to Miami, +7. So now a +8 for San Diego. Ball at the 42-yard line of Denver. 3-0 Chargers lead. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this opening half.
Neither one of these teams have been able to run the ball at all.
First down at the 13-yard line. Similar to the catch that led to the San Diego field goal when he picked up 38 yards. That one was good for 29.
Dick, that is the identical play that the Denver Broncos just ran, and John Elway threw the interception. The difference is Denver gets sucked up on the play-action fake. Alfred Williams comes in free and really levels Stan Humphries. Stan Humphries saw the open receiver, anticipated, and threw it well before the receiver turned around.
Yeah, it takes a lot of guts to stand there and know you're going to get drilled just to complete a pass.
Russell collides with the Denver defense at the 10. Glenn Cadrez and Steve Atwater in on the stop.
You know, we're talking about neither one of these teams running the ball. The Denver Broncos, 7 times they rushed the ball for 19 yards. The San Diego Chargers, now what was that? They had 6 for 6. Now it's 7 for about 10 yards is all they have rushing the ball, the Chargers.
Rodney Harrison's interception setting up this opportunity. Terrell Fletcher into the game in the backfield now for San Diego. To the tight end Brian Roach, and the rookie from San Jose State, down inside the 5. Will it count? Tyrone Braxton made the tackle, and it's against the Broncos. Both holding and offside signals given by referee McElwee. The holding carries an automatic first down.
We'll measure to see if a first down was made on the play. We have 2 fouls against the defense, offside and holding.
So the Chargers in an excellent position. They're going to get a first down out of this one way or another, but they'll take the gain, which would give them 2 more yards if it is a first down. Ball spotted just inside the 4. This is a tough. We wouldn't even ask Paul to guess on this one. It's much too far from our location. First and goal for the Chargers from the 5. They lead 3-0 midpoint of the second quarter. John Mobley, who was out for a while with a thigh bruise, has returned, number 51. Russell stacked up, no gain. Boy, Russell has not been able to dent that Denver defense.
You're going to get in the end zone against the Denver Broncos, and I kind of think unless they change their formations with Denver against San Diego, you're going to have to throw it in there. because these guys are lining up, and the defensive line, this is what's really helping with both teams. The defensive lines are getting penetration against the offensive lines, and when that happens, there's just no place to go.
Bobby Ross brings out the tight ends and Russell and puts in speed and wide receivers. Fletcher, the running back. Andre Coleman in motion. Humphreys dumps it to Fletcher. Fletcher fighting and gets to the goal line, but no save. Yes, touchdown, San Diego. Well, you effort by Fletcher.
Well, yeah, but you know, his own man knocks him into the end zone. He comes in from behind, and I couldn't see who it was from up here, but they came in from behind and hit Fletcher and knocked him into the end zone. Because the Denver Broncos had him stopped about the 1-yard line. When Fletcher catches this ball, Phil, look what happens to him. They get here. Braxton and company, they have him right there. Now watch from behind. His own man, boom, just knocks him into the end zone.
Very swing.
Touchdown. That's a smart play by the offensive lineman.
320 pounds, hits you from behind. You go in the end zone.
Yeah, he said, I was trying to block for you. The guy ducked and just hit you in there. Carney's tried for point. And the Chargers on Rodney Harrison's interception and the touchdown pass, Humphrey to Fletcher, now lead 10-0. Been getting terrific length on his kickoffs this year. Vaughn, Hebron deep for Denver. This one is sunk well into the end zone, and Hebron will kneel down. Hebron in the backfield instead of Davis. To the sidelines, and it's complete to Byron Chamberlain. And time for an update in New York. Let's go to Dan Hicks. Clever and impersonating. I thought he'd do his Greg Gumbel impersonation. Yeah, that's right. Maybe next time. Second down and 4 for the Broncos as we return. 10-0. San Diego to Hebron. Close to a first down, a flag down.
Sidelines right now. He's taking some oxygen. He has a migraine headache, and it is very questionable as to whether he will return. He had the same thing happen against Tampa Bay earlier in the year, and he did not play in the second half. Dick?
Next year, Elway after the penalty from his own 5-yard line, and he is sacked. First sack for San Diego. Sean Lee, who had 8 last year, a sizable number for an interior lineman. That is his first of this season. Well, back to Terrell Davis, as you saw on the pregame show, the interview with Greg Gumbel, that he's suffered the migraine since age 7 and 8. He said when he didn't know what they were all about, it was so painful, he actually considered taking his own life. It was that bad, and let's hope he's able to return. He says the first thing that happens is he loses his vision. He can't see. And then the pain of the headache.
The only guy I ever knew that had him was Ron McDowell, to play with the Buffalo Bills, and I saw him once after a game. They had him they laid him on the floor in the airplane. He said, I can't tell you how much pain that I have in his head, his whole body, because of a migraine.
So things are rather glum here in Denver at the moment. Time special medicine, and he was able to return and contributed in a very tough win, 27-23. So hopes are that he'll be able to play in the second half. 25 yards to go for a first down from the 5. To the sideline, Mike Sherrard out of bounds at the 9, short gain, and you don't hear the boos very often in Denver. But they're playing now without the league's top rusher, Terrell Davis. Plus a couple of very critical penalty mistakes in this first half.
That, Dick, and there's the medicine.
Lidocaine.
Lidocaine.
It's like the dentist used that, right? It's a Novocaine that deadens the nerves. He said that his nose was numb against Tampa Bay after taking it, but he felt all right.
Scary situation, and you just hope that it doesn't keep reoccurring for Terrell Davis.
Tom Ruin from his own end zone lifts a high spiral. At the Charger 41. Gets away from 2 Broncos, but not a third. Finally wrapped up by Dwayne Carswell. 49 on the punt, -4 on the return. Well, later tonight on NBC.
It's a great line.
You'll steal it.
I will. I'll
use it. I know.
Chargers lead 10-0. Ball at the 36. Drafted in the 3rd round Jose State has his second catch today, his third of the season, and a first down at the Denver 48.
I've never seen tight ends get open this much in one ball game. And I can remember, and you know, you're covering, trying to cover with linebackers. The wide receivers are not doing a thing.
He came out of the backfield. He's actually the fullback sometimes. He's in the backfield. Stan Humphries looks right. Brian Roach releases left. There's nobody there to cover him.
Quick throw. It's Roach again. Short yard. Couple. He's been designed to be an NFL player since a kid. His dad is a high school football coach, Diamond Bar High School in Orange County, California, out near Anaheim. Dad Terry. And Roach, a very bright young guy. He wants to go to law school as he applies his craft in the NFL.
When he comes in the game, usually look for San Diego to throw the ball. They use him as like a third wide receiver sometimes.
Aaron Hayden in the backfield. Play action. Humphries down the middle. Andre Coleman tumbles the ball and recovers it at the 12. Ray Crockett made the stop. 34 in the play. Boy, that's been wide open, dead center of the field for Stan Humphries.
That's all Stan Humphries is doing. Is you're right, Dick. He's just looking right down the middle of the field between the stripes, and here they are. They're open. Now Atwater's trying to catch, but he can't. I mean, look at this ball. You think things are going your way? It hits the ground and bounces back in your hand.
First down. San Diego leading 10-0. Steps out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Dan Williams, the defensive end there, number 90 for Denver. Stan Humphries here in the first half. His report card, 9 for 14 and 5 in a row. That last pass to Coleman, good for 34.
You never hear Stan Humphries' name mentioned when they talk about top NFL quarterbacks, and I think that's a mistake because he's proven over the last 3 years that he is one of the top 5 or 10 players in the league at that position. And the one thing he does that most quarterbacks in this league do not do anymore, he throws the ball down the field.
Intended for Omar Ellison, incomplete, so it'll be third down and about 3. Look at the winning quarterbacks. That should surprise some folks. Stan Humphries, this is active quarterbacks. Third best, 67.7%. So he's been a winner since Bobby Beathard acquired him from Washington.
Bobby Beathard was happy he became free to pick him up, and he has really played well for San Diego ever since he came there from Washington.
That's when John Freeze was injured. Third down, take to Hayden. Humphries throws. Touchdown, a diving catch for Tony Martin, his 7th touchdown of the season. Martin, who played down at Grand Junction, Colorado for Mesa College. What a season he's having again. He set a Charger record last year with 90 catches, breaking Kellen Winslow's mark, and he has 35 this year, 7 for scores.
And I'll tell you, the reason that this thing works and Humphries gets it there, Phil, he's running a bootleg back to the left side. He's a right-handed quarterback. He got his body square with the field so he can throw the perfect pass.
Carney to try to make it 17-0. Well, last year, when these two teams met at Mile High, it was Denver, remember, that jumped off to a 21-0 lead. Chargers caught him in the second half before Denver won by 3.
All right, now watch what Humphries does here. It's a bootleg. He comes back to the outside, but watch him get his body square.
He delivers the kickoff, and again, he drives it off the tee, almost to the back of the end zone. Carney's length, he credits to a guy named Adrian Crook out in California, who has worked with Karch Karai, the volleyball star, and others. He said it's his flexibility and his balance. He said, I wanted to be better. He's regarded as one of the top kickers, Pro Bowl kicker 2 years ago, and he's added 10 yards to his kickoffs.
You know, and I'll tell you something. That's one of the things they judge a kicker on. I mean, I heard it in preseason. These guys thought, well, we're going to keep the guy that can kick the ball the furthest off the tee to start the game, or the kickoff.
Make the other offense start from the 20. That's what they want.
Caught from behind. It's not a sack. Elway able to scramble for a yard. Rayleigh Johnson, number 99, made the tackle. Jim Gray.
Dick, the Broncos training staff tells us that Terrell Davis has not had a migraine headache since the third week against Tampa Bay, that this is his first one since. I remember in our meeting talking to Terrell Davis, we asked him, was he going to contact Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the all-time Laker great, about this, and he said no, he really didn't want to. He'd hoped that they wouldn't persist. Dick?
All right, thanks, Jim, and let us know if he starts to feel better. Second and 9 for Elway. Shannon Sharp left alone, and finally Rodney Harrison gets a little shoulder block and knocks him enough off balance to take him out at the 46-yard line.
I'm going to check. Oh, I'm sorry.
24 on the play.
I'm sorry, but I've looked at him, and when I saw him, he's nothing but all muscle. But watch the flexibility of this guy. I mean, to go down and take the ball off the grass and now turn to make the move upfield. I mean, this guy's an excellent receiver.
And that brings us to the 2-minute warning here. And Humphreys with a couple of 5-yard touchdown throws. Elway 13 for 17, but one costly interception. First down Denver at the 46. 2 minutes to go in the half. Looking for McCaffrey. He's got it. 35, 30, 25, 23. Now the crowd comes to life. And a flag down as well. Ed McCaffrey, former teammate of Phil Simms with the Giants, played at Stanford.
McCaffrey coming across the field. A lot of people think he's tall, he's 6'5", he can't run, but he can motor. You see him going across the field, does an excellent job, and Dwayne Harper, number 28, was covering, pulled his hamstring chasing after him.
23-yard line. Field to Carswell, and the big guy runs through a tackle, but stopped at the 20, a gain of 3. Carswell weighs over 260. Timeout taken by Denver. Stops the clock with 1.
Be careful when he crosses the field. Takes a lot of time, though.
Willie Clark, number 31, comes in as an extra defensive back. No, he's playing for Harper now. Elway pumps. Wide open. Sharp. Touchdown. Willie Clark just into the game. They picked on him immediately, and Sharp with his 3rd touchdown of the season.
Oh, Dick, what a move he put on Willie Clark. I mean, Willie Clark had no chance. This was almost unfair. He puts a move to the post, which is into the middle of the field. Clark fights, and he goes back to the outside, and this was easy.
20-yard touchdown throw to Elway's favorite target.
Don't leave.
Jason Elam adds the extra point. And with 1:19 left in the half, Denver at least gives their very rabid fans a chance to cheer.
Let's look at the touchdown. Shannon Sharp's going to come down, fake inside, then go deep. Willie Clark, second play into the game, probably trying to be a little too aggressive. Bites on the fake. Easy touchdown for the Denver Broncos.
Clark, on a similar pattern by Tim Brown in the Oakland game, made the move inside and picked off Hostetler and went 81 yards for a touchdown. But Sharp, perhaps knowing that Clark would like to take the bite inside.
Watch John Elway right. Oh, that was perfect. He makes that little pump fake. Willie Clark saw that. That's what made him come up and play the slant.
Junior Seau. Now this time, I said they've been going with 4. This time they send Junior Seau. They pick him up right in the middle. He has no place to go. What is it? I mean, what went through Elway's mind? That's the play called. He looked at Sharp the whole way, and he sees this guy wide open.
He knows it's one-on-one, and that corner, most likely, Paul, is going to take that fake. They've been trained to watch the quarterback when he makes a motion to throw, break for the football.
Elway perfect on that drive, and without the services of Terrell Davis, Elway is the leading rusher, 15 yards in the game for Denver. He had to use his arm, and very effectively on that 8-yard drive. 17-7, Elam, Andre Coleman, he'll take the touchback. So San Diego leading 17-7 as we remind you of the...
You just be so conservative right here. Just don't make a mistake, and if you get a chance to score, then you're just lucky.
Leonard Russell grabbing the ball with both hands, picks up 5. Alfred Williams, 91 with the tackle.
Well, they just answered my question.
Yeah, that's right. Well, don't throw gasoline on the old fire, what they say, Paul. I mean, Denver's hot, the crowd's into it. Do not give them a chance to make a big play.
Russell with a critical fumble late in the game last week against Kansas City, but Mims blocked the field goal as the Chiefs were trying to tie. You see how Denver almost all their yards through the air. San Diego as well. Russell wrestled down by Mike Lotus, the former Buffalo Bill, and time is called with 33 seconds showing on the clock, and that is Denver's last timeout. So well, 3rd and 3 for Humphreys.
Yeah, they'll just sit down on the ball now, and that's halftime.
Mike Lotish comes out after making that tackle, holding his left arm. If you just joined us, the Chargers piling up a 17-0 lead on a field goal by Carney of 27 and 2 short touchdown passes. Humphrey throwing to Fletcher and then to his favorite target, Tony Martin, before Elway could bring the Broncos back on an 80-yard drive and hit the touchdown to Sharp of 20 yards.
You know, there's 3 touchdowns in this game. They're all in the air. So we may not see a rushing touchdown the way these 2 defensive lines are playing. And linebackers.
I think Denver's going to go in halftime and get on that board and some more passing plays because the running game isn't working. So just concentrate and try to make the plays happen with the passing game.
They get the ball in the second half, so they'll have an opportunity then.
Draw play. Doesn't work. Terrell Fletcher tackled by Bill Romanowski. So the clock will run. The Chargers don't have to punt it. That should be the end of the half. The Denver using a timeout, hoping they might make a big hit and a fumble. By the way, just as we look ahead to the second half, Elway in this first half, 162 yards passing. He's now only 110 away from Dan Fouts, number 3 all-time in passing yards. 17-7. San Diego leads here in Denver. Now let's go to New York. The Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report.
Makes me believe they talked about this at halftime. If he kicks it deep in the end zone, let's try for the return.
Now first down for the Broncos. 24-yard line. Finds his man McCaffrey. Willie Clark covering for Dwayne Harper. Harper will not play the second half. He did re-injure the hamstring that kept him out of the last 2 games.
I think it will be a long day for Willie Clark. I mean, they finished with a touchdown in this area, and they came right back with McCaffrey right to that side.
Hebron out, and Terrell Davis is in the backfield. Davis returns. And met immediately by Junior Seau. Seau then with that celebration after a big play, his lightning bolt, he calls it.
Brian Habib had no chance of blocking Junior Seau. Look at this, 75 is trying to come down to block Junior Seau. He's already in the backfield.
He's too fast for a guard to think that they can get the angle and block Junior Seau. He is going to beat that guard every single time to the punch.
He told us he wore 55 because his dad turned 55 as a college sophomore at USC and requested that number.
Go!
3rd and 4. Up from that. Oh my.
He never saw Chris Mims coming. He just turns right into him. Here's the audio replay. If you're going to be able to hear it and see it, watch this, folks. Oh man, does that hurt? That hurts.
And Elway jogs off the field. Darian Gordon now to return for San Diego. Tom Ruin. Ooh. Darren Shaw in on the punter. Fair catch, Gordon at the 21-yard line. Well, the Chargers get their first chance in the second half, leading 17-7.
When cars pull pull up to a stop sign. Do they check each other out? Do they admire the way the other cars move? Wonder what's under the hood? Do they fantasize about the aurora, long for its dual overhead cannon bead? Or do they just think, yeah?
NFL Sunday Ticket from DirecTV. We play up to 13 regular season games every Sunday. So what would you call somebody who only plays one? It's not on cable or any other mini-dish system. It's got to be DirecTV. Satellite TV at its best.
In the beginning was the ordinary battery. Then came the long-lasting Duracell battery. And now, the next leap forward, introducing Duracell Power Check, the only battery with a fuel gauge, so you can see how much power it has, anytime, anywhere. New Duracell Power Check, the world's most advanced battery.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile retailers. By the new Coors Light Wide Mouth Can. Tap the Rockies with a smoother pour. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. And by Dean Winter, there are many ways to measure success. We measure it one investor at a time.
Welcome back, 17-7. John Elway testing his throwing hand after that hit by Chris Mims. We'll show it to you one more time. First, it's Humphreys and San Diego. Leonard Russell fumbles the ball, and it appears the Chargers recover. So another favorable bounce for San Diego. Now back to the tackle of Elway. You talk about bone rattling. It takes a man to take a hit like this. Oh.
He really had two choices. He either had Junior Seau or Mims. Neither one of them were very good.
What saved him at the last second, he saw Chris Mims coming. He braced himself a little, and he was able to hold on the ball because of that too.
Meanwhile, Leonard Russell has had a reputation of coughing it up fumbles, but recovered by San Diego, and a gain of 3 on the play. Thrown complete. Ray Crockett was all over Andre Coleman, and Coleman made the catch anyway, just shy of the first down.
I'm going to go back to some of the folks, and I'm telling you, Dick Enberg didn't make this up. At halftime, we were sitting here talking, and Dick says, you know, every time I'm looking at Leonard Russell running with the ball, it looks like he's going to fumble. The first time he touches the ball in this half, he fumbles it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why he's been well shopped. He's playing with his fourth team in 4 years. Another sack for Denver, their third, as Alfred Williams, who leads the way, has his first today. He has 5.5 for the year.
What a pickup this offseason the Denver Broncos made in picking up Alfred Williams, number 91 from the top of your screen. Good coverage down the field. Alfred Williams, using his speed, comes underneath the blockers. Nobody there to pick him up.
Darren Bennett to punt. Whoa, just does get it away, and it's another boomer. Kinchin backpedals inside the 15. Good move by Kinchin, and finally brought down by Terrell Fletcher at the 36-yard line. 66-yard punt. That's the third from 66 by Bennett today.
During a surprise inspection of your barracks this afternoon, I found this. I want the soldier who belongs to this spear to step forward. Now, what's the matter? Do you miss your precious Rocky Mountains? Dipping your tootsies into an ice-cold Rocky Mountain stream, fraternizing with some snow bunny? Do you, Kowalski? I want to know whose beer this is right now.
It's my beer, Sergeant.
You put this beer here?
I certainly did, and I checked on it.
I wasn't gonna take it, sir.
Oh, bet.
No, really, look, it's still cold.
You're right. Now, what'd you do with my pretzels?
Well, don't just stand there. Find the General's pretzels.
The value drive.
To the 40-yard line. And Gouveia and Seau make the stop.
Excellent job by Shannon Sharp, crossing the field. Down at the bottom of the screen, comes across, he sees the zone, looks for the open hole, stops, and waits for the ball to be delivered. John Elway had a couple scratches and bruises on his right hand. Doesn't seem to be bothering him.
2nd and 5. Elway, another quick incomplete to Miller. Broken up by Terrence Shaw. Fans wanted interference.
This is just great coverage, Phil, right here.
Yes, it is. Terrence Shaw looking in the backfield, sees it's a 3-step drop by John Elway, looking for the quick pass. Excellent job.
I don't think they're booing Shaw because Shaw's right there making a great play. Anthony Miller had the ball, hit him right in the stomach.
That breaks a string of 8 straight completions by Elway, brings up 3rd and 5. Elway dancing away from traffic. Dives for a first down at the 50, and that's why they love him in Denver.
Well, I'll tell you what, old Reuben Davis, I mean, that big guy lumbers across the field, and he went after Elway. He saved a lot more yardage. Watch number 93 where he ends up. Reuben Davis is chasing Elway. You see him on the right-hand side of your screen. He's the guy that dives. Boom! Elway has to go over top. McCaffrey downfield now. He sees Elway. He gets tripped up on Clark. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's incidental contact.
First down, Denver, trailing 17-7 here in the 3rd. Throws to the sidelines, complete to Mike Sherrard at the 43 of San Diego. Good for about 8.
Did you see what Chris Mims did to Shannon Sharp? Chris Mims rips him off the line of scrimmage. Shannon Sharp has no chance. Look at right here, folks, right in that area. Watch what happens when Sharp comes off. Look at Mims. Wait a minute. He's going to turn him and throw him on the ground. They don't even call that.
Meanwhile, Sherrard working on Willie Clark. Clark replacing the starter, Dwayne Harper. It's 2nd down and 2.
That was unbelievable. Right in the open field.
Terrell Davis, and Davis with a migraine in the defense of the Chargers that is enough to give any back a headache today.
Well, the front four of the San Diego Chargers, it's big and it is athletic, and I can see where it would be hard to run the football inside against this team.
You know, we saw the Chargers with a 3rd and 2 in that last series. They throw the football. Tried to throw the football, they got sacked. I wouldn't be surprised here with 3rd and 2. The Broncos do the same thing because neither one of these teams can run.
Terrell Davis behind Elway. Coming, but they pick him up. The throw is deep. Incomplete. And it was dragged down as Mike Sherrard interfered with. Terrence Shaw got involved too early.
Well, when you see that the defensive backfield get up and not complain, he realizes that he was at fault.
Pass interference, 29 defense, penalty is declined, first down.
The ball was caught by Mike Sherrard. It gets popped up in the air. It comes back down to him. Excellent job by Mike Sherrard at the line. Finds some time. John Elway throwing the ball on the line before the defensive back can turn around and see it.
Boy, I don't know about pass interference, except that his left arm does get up in the air. That's pretty good coverage.
He caught the ball anyway.
That's right, he caught the ball. It was a catch. They gave him the catch.
First down at the 20. Davis. No, it's a fake. It's a touchdown. The fumble was going to give us his new victory touchdown dance, but only when the game was lopsided. He said, I don't want to do it till I know we've won. What a fake by Elway to Davis, and then a perfect throw to Shannon Sharp. Elam with the extra point, and the Broncos are back in it 17-14. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
A pair of 20-yard touchdown receptions. Denver from 17-0 down, 17-14.
Andre Coleman, a short kickoff at the 6. Coleman. Oh, is he drilled by rookie Detron Smith. Former Texas Aggie. Let's go back to the touchdown, and there was more to it than Sharp's reception.
Well, the Broncos have not run the ball well all day, but don't tell that to the San Diego Chargers. Shannon Sharp going down the middle. Watch the linebackers bite up on the play-action fake that creates the hole behind the linebackers in front of the safeties. John Elway sees it. Excellent throw.
Broke the plane of the goal line, obviously, for the touchdown.
As soon as that ball crosses, even touches that line, Dick, it's touchdown. No matter what happens after that.
The crowd really into it. Humphreys batted in the air. Incomplete. Flag down. Michael Dean Perry was in on Humphreys.
I'll tell you, you know what happens in a game like this when there is absolutely no running in the game. What is it, like they each have 20-some yards? It just tells the defensive lineman, you're not going to run, we're coming. And they, both of these defensive lines, 4-man rushes, they're just teeing off and going.
Number 77, offense.
Eric Moten.
10 yards, first down.
I mean, you could just see, when you see the defensive line up, Joe, here they come.
Eric Moten, the left guard. Keep your eye on him. Denver runs the game. Really excellent job by Eric Moten trying to tackle Williams to keep him from hitting his quarterback.
You're right. I mean, that was a smart, if there's a smart penalty, that was it. He's just trying to save Humphreys because he knows that Alfred Williams would have buried him. Is he getting loud in here?
The booth is shaking.
First down and 20. Makes the tackle, but because of the noise, you could see the lineman could not hear Humphreys audible.
The snap, false start, 89 offense.
Well, I don't know if it was Alfred Williams on that side, but you just stay with what you call?
Go with it.
First down and 25. Straining to Clinton. And Alfred Williams makes another big play along with Romanowski.
Oh, man, did you see where Alfred Williams came from, Phil? He was rushing the passer, read the screen, and got back in to make the tackle. Now, that's hustle.
Gain of only 3 on the screen play to the 13-yard line.
Watch Alfred Williams now. You're going to see him off the line of scrimmage, Phil, and he just comes upfield. He's chasing the quarterback. Sees screen. Watch who ends up helping and making the tackle. Alfred Williams. That's great hustle.
Second and 22. Some extra yards with his power to the 17. Only 4 total on the play, however. Third down.
Take a look at Vaughn Parker, number 70. The left tackle gets his arms outside on the shoulder pads. That is holding on Dan Williams, number 90.
The reason it's so frustrating and funny is here's the guy at the end of the line of scrimmage. You've got to be able to see it.
Third and 18 and 76,000 voices. Blitzer to the 25. Romanowski to tackle. 4th and 10. And the crowd was a factor in that series.
rocket man. He's going to kick this ball. He's had 3 66-yard punts in a row. Darian Bennett. This guy, look at this.
Well, they had that one he threw away, 59. Up the street.
You got to take the balls out of the game after he kicks them.
Kinchin back at the 20. Another high kick. Kinchin at the 20. 30. 40. Fumbles, and Denver recovered at the 47. Although there's no the official signal. So the bounce that has gone for San Diego goes to Denver this time. 55 on the punt, 25 on the return.
Well, Bennett is kicking the ball so far, it's given a chance for the Broncos to have returns.
Terrell Fletcher forced the fumble, but the Broncos alertly cover it. Cadrez.
Elway standing up all the way. Shannon Sharp has another first down
To the 41. Lou Bush and Kevin Ross with a tackle.
Let's take a look at John Elway. The last time they had the ball, they scored a touchdown. The play-action fake, throws the ball down the field, standing there. Chris Mims hits him 4 steps after he releases the ball.
No flag.
And look at John Elway's reaction.
John Elway's reaction, he wasn't reacting to anything about the hit. He was just saying, hey, we just scored. The touchdown.
He's only missed on 5 passes the entire game. 1 interception, 2 touchdowns to Sharp. This time to Sharp again. Open. Rodney Harrison makes a tackle, and Shannon Sharp having a field day against the San Diego defense.
This time they got Shannon Sharp against a safety. That is a mismatch. A good fake inside, showing patience. Look at the separation, and John Elway just floats it out there.
You know what the amazing thing about Sharp, though, when you look at what he does, look at his catches and everything, I mean, he has total concentration on the ball. This guy does not move until he has it in his hands.
Brother of Sterling, he's 3 years younger than Sterling Sharp. Leading tight end in catches in the 90s, and he's got 8 more today, and we have just under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Elway to the end zone, and that one took off on him. Anthony Miller was the intended target, and one of the few poorly thrown passes by Elway this afternoon. Terrence Shaw covering for San Diego.
You know, the play before.
Elway very close to surpassing Dan Fouts. He needs 15 more yards to be number 3 all time. Terrell Davis, no. Yes, he's out of bounds at the 15. Good second effort by Davis. Rodney Harrison finally making the tackle. A gain of almost 5.
This is all after you keep your feet moving, Phil. You go into the pocket. Watch this here. He gets hit right here, but look at his legs.
That's what happens. Kirk Cavea has a free shot. He hits the lineman instead of the running back, and Terrell Davis bounces it outside.
Davis on the day, 9 carries, 9 yards rushing. San Diego's done a good job defensing the NFL's top rusher. 3rd down and 4. Elway chased by Mims. So you know who. 1st and goal. Shannon Sharp again.
Boy, this was off of a fake toss and just froze the defense.
Well, Paul, I don't think it really fooled anybody. It's just the talent of Shannon Sharp just outrunning the linebacker, and John Elway just putting the ball on the money. Yeah.
Mike Shanahan just giving him a little tap on the head. Keep throwing it, John. Keep throwing it.
That's right.
You know, when I was born, I had a 31-inch waist.
1st and goal, Denver at the 3. Terrell Davis stuffed again. No gain. John Perella and Junior Seau plugging the hole.
All right, John, you showed him your 1 run.
Yeah, that's right.
Now go and throw the ball in the end zone.
They're just running the ball right now just to let John Elway rest before he throws it again, because they're just not going to have any success blocking the big defensive line of the San Diego Chargers.
Loss of a yard on the play, back to the 4. Gary Kubiak, drafted in the same 83 quarterback draft as Elway, but 170 places later.
Now, Gary Kubiak calls all the plays for the Denver Broncos offense.
There's the fake. Elway into the end zone. Shot again. Shannon Sharp. He has the trifecta, and Denver trailing 17-0 has rallied with 3 unanswered touchdowns, all by Shannon Sharp.
How can you continue to be fooled by play-action fakes when the other team cannot run the football?
Elam's extra point. Denver, with 3:03 left in the third, finally enjoys the lead, 21-17. Both Elway and Shannon mighty sharp today.
I mean, when he sneaks out, Phil, nobody even looks at him.
There's actually nobody to cover him. The linebackers and the defensive backs for the Chargers bite on the run. Look at this. Shannon Sharp, there's nobody to cover him.
I don't know where Kevin Ross was going, number 36, but he wasn't even looking at Shannon Sharp or anyone else.
He was covering the other tight end that was coming across the formation.
But you know, the point you make is really the valid point. You're looking at a team that cannot run the football. The number 1 rushing team in all of professional football can't run the ball today. So what does he do? They run play action, and it's freezing everybody.
Well, the Hulk move, Shannon Sharp, gives you that celebration in his touchdowns. And he already has a career-tying game with 10 catches and a full quarter plus 3 minutes left of this one. 21-17 Denver, and Andre Coleman back for Elam's kickoff. To the 22, and a flag on the play.
Yeah, and the defensive back get caught up looking at the run. Shannon Sharp goes, nobody sees him, reacts to him, and it's too late.
Let's go down to Jim Gray.
Thanks, Dick. Well, after the touchdown, Bobby Ross, who's usually very quiet on the sidelines, really got into the face of number 38, David Hendricks, the strong safety. Apparently, he must have missed his assignment on that touchdown because he was just all over him. Dick?
Boss Ross, and he will get in your face.
This penalty is going to go against the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, when Shannon Sharp is doing everything, you would think somebody would look for 84.
Well, I'll go back again to the point Phil made, which is it just really is so valid that, I mean, they have to run the football all day long, and they run a few play-action passes, and it freezes the entire defense.
Personal foul out to the 36. Humphreys to Roach, the tight end, who leans forward to the 39-yard line. Tyrone Braxton, the tackle. The Shannon Sharp, with 3 touchdown receptions, ties Denver's all-time record. Anthony Miller has 3. Watson, Moses, Scarpito, Taylor from the past.
Well, he's still got 17 minutes and 30 seconds to do another one. 4. Oh, yeah.
The way they're covering him, he might get more than that. Second and 7. Russell wrapped up by Alan Aldridge. After a gain of about 3, it'll be 3rd down and about 3.5. And coming up Tuesday night, the American League Championship. No one in the backfield for Humphreys. Caught by Tony Martin. Is it enough for a first down? Yes. Lionel Washington covering Martin.
Well, that's a generous spot.
Boy, is that ever. And the sideline judge was right there to see it, and I don't understand why they didn't put the ball back another yard. Martin doesn't make this first down.
Tony Martin has to turn around for the football, and he falls. That ball looked like it was definitely behind the yard marker.
Yeah, they're going to measure.
Oh, this is first down.
Oh, this is by
half the ball at least.
At least is right.
More than that. I mean, this was really a generous spot. Tony Martin on the outside. Watch what the catch is. He has to go back. See, now look at here. He's down. There's where the ball is. Now he moves the ball forward. It's behind the yard marker. He moves the ball forward to get the first down.
At the 47-yard line, 1:22 left in the third. Denver has rallied to gain the lead, 21-17. Plays to the sidelines to Roach. A flag down. Roach stumbles, and it goes out of bounds. San Diego's ball. Check the flag in the backfield of the Chargers.
It may be Parker again, number 70, Von Parker.
Holding against San Diego, the indication. And the Chargers fortunate they have the ball. That was free amidst a sea of orange jerseys on the far sidelines. Ray Crockett just so angry he had a chance at it.
Well, Alfred Williams has given Von Parker every move in the book.
Holding, number 70, offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
He's been run over, run around. Look at the end of the line of scrimmage, number 70 against 91. This time, Alfred Williams going inside. Von Parker has no choice but to pull him down.
Romanowski almost gets this ball. Now watch number 53 outside. There's the ball. And they just, two guys fighting over the ball, knocked the ball out of bounds. It would have been Denver's ball.
Now Steve Atwater proved to be an enemy, not a friend.
I mean, Parker, that's a takedown now.
Oh. Now, Von Parker was the starting right tackle early in the year. They moved him to the left because he's such an outstanding athlete, and they want to protect the backside of Stan Humphries.
They spotted the ball incorrectly. It's only a 9-yard penalty where they have it marked. Of scrimmage is the 47. They put the ball on the, actually it's an 8-yard penalty. They put it on the, or a tackle below
Personal foul, number 59 defense roughing the passer, going to the head, going to the head.
Glenn Cadrez, the linebacker.
The Denver Broncos have a blitz on. Stan Humphries sees it, but Glenn Cadrez hits him with the top of the helmet into the Stan Humphries.
He said, hey, how about that one? And McElwee, the referee, that's his call. And it goes to all the way to the 48 of Denver, and a first down with it. But there's another point here, Phil. It's Humphries. You were making this comment before the game. How many hits he takes?
Well, look at, you can see his chin is bleeding. And the one thing that worries me about Stan Humphries and this Charger offense, and Dick, we've said this, he takes way too many big hits for a quarterback with a good football team. And it's just a matter of time before one of those hits knocks him out of a game.
Yeah, pretty good laceration of the chin. I'll have to bandage that together. Yeah, he's a tough guy. He'll take a hit.
Well, there's no doubt. Every year he shows you how tough he is. Almost every week he takes these hits and stands in there and continues to throw the football down the field. But a couple years ago, it backfired on him. He was hurt and struggled for 5 or 6 games because he couldn't move around because of those big hits.
Man, this is the longest penalty I've ever seen. Well, you know why? It comes at the end of the play.
Right, they got the end of the
completion, and then they tack on 15 after that.
Sean Salisbury picked up by the Chargers this season. He did not play all of last year. He was a sports radio analyst in Las Vegas. Will not come in. Humphrey said, I'm okay. Penalty goes to the 41. Denver leading 21-17. First down, Charger. Crowd on its feet. Elway throws it away. Or check that, Humphries throws it away. That's an Elway-type scramble and throw from Humphries. Mike Lodish was in on him.
And Dick, guess what? Another hit.
But the thing about that time, he's trying to throw the ball to Charlie Jones, and you're right, here comes another hit.
Well, they're going for the touchdown on this play. And that's another good shot Stan Humphries took.
Mike Lodish.
Anytime you're, as a quarterback, falling on your arms, you worry about a shoulder separation.
Deafening din at Mile High. Leonard Russell inside the 40, but only a gain of a couple. Neither team able to run the football today. John Elway's arm, the difference at the moment, 21-17, as he and Shannon Sharp hooking up on a career day for the tight end Sharp, and that probably the last play of the third quarter.
Well, San Diego has to be careful. They have to run the ball in certain situations. to keep their quarterback from taking those hits and getting sacked and give them a chance to pick up third and short.
Well, that will be the end of the third quarter. A 2-touchdown period for the Denver Broncos. Injured earlier in the third quarter.
Man, I'll tell you, though, this you're talking about 4th and about 7.5 yards. Now, that pass was perfect, Phil. That man should have had the ball.
He was looking for the defender. He was waiting to get hit. That's why he dropped it.
Half the Bronco bench insulting the crowd to make more noise. Flag down. Humphreys to Charlie Jones. Almost intercepted by Steve Atwater. Penalty against San Diego. That'll be declined. Denver will get the ball. You think the crowd is an offender?
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 men moving, and they did not reset. That penalty is declined. First down. Timeout.
And Jones in the collision with Atwater, slow in getting up. Take over on downs at the 38. Everett in the backfield in motion. Elway completes it to Sharp again, and that was just Sharp helping out as Junior Seau makes the stop. Let's go back to the collision between rookie Charlie Jones and Steve Atwater.
Steve Atwater playing safety in the middle of the field, watches Stan Humphreys, sees the ball, reacts to it, and Charlie Jones going so hard trying to make the reception actually knocks the play up.
Charlie Jones is hoping he's with Randy Cross right now.
Go ahead, go ahead.
43-yard line, 2nd down and 5. Gets it to Sherrard, rule the catch at the San Diego 47, first down, 10 yards on the play.
You know, one of the things that are happening with Sharp is that he's in there blocking, and he's kind of a release guy on the play before. Exactly what happened. Now here's Elway through Sherrod. Look at this throw. Down, away. That's a good catch.
John Elway, did you see, watch the body language? He knew he didn't like the throw. The receiver was wide open, hit him in stride. He could have picked up quite a few yards.
Leading 21-17 here in the fourth quarter. 13.5 left. Elway with the punt. McCaffrey. Almost a fingertip catch, McCaffrey. Willie Clark able to get just enough hand in there to break it up.
Wherever Eddie McCaffrey goes, there seems to be a collision, Dick, and it happened about 5 times last week. And again here, Eddie McCaffrey running down the field, nobody in the middle to take the free safety, and Kevin Ross comes over and delivers the blow.
You know, I'm kind of glad that McCaffrey that time ducked down, because
he saw it coming.
He did. He saw Ross coming.
Elway now with 287 yards has passed Dan Fouts. Warren Moon is right there, yards apart from Elway, so both of them today undoubtedly will pass the former great quarterback of the Chargers, Hall of Famer Fouts. Elway under pressure, still gets it away and completes it. Shannon Sharp. Is there an echo here at Mile High Stadium? It seems like every time Elway throws Shannon Sharp's name erupts. It's a career best 12 catches for Sharp, and tonight
the Chargers sent a blitz and couldn't get to Elway.
3rd and 5, and Ruben Davis, Sean Lee jumps offside. Wonderful job of coaching from Shanahan and his staff without their leading runner. They're doing it all passing. Chargers must know they're going to throw on just about every play. Fake to Davis. Throw it again. Sharp again to the 27-yard line.
Did you see what happened to Marco Coleman? I mean, he takes the fake. Here's a defensive end that ends up in the middle of the field, and he takes the fake, and he ends up, you'll see him on the end of the line right there, Phil, and watch what happens when Elway fakes. He's over Sharp. Now watch where Coleman ends up. He's in the middle of the field. Here comes Sharp back to the outside. Completion.
And they'll measure for a first down as the numbers for Shannon Sharp mount. 13 catches now and 154 yards.
But Paul, Marco Coleman does not have him in pass coverage.
Well, I know he doesn't have him in pass coverage. What I'm saying is he went all the way inside.
Oh, I understand. What happened, too, is the safeties are just getting confused, moving back and forth, and that's why you keep seeing the Denver Broncos run this little play action one way and just get the ball to Shannon Sharp.
He's a little tired, too, now.
But he's happy. 13 catches.
Shannon Sharpe with 2 touchdown catches. Here's the first 20 yards. Make it first of 3. Is he open? This time, able to get in the end zone before he fumbles. And despite this tremendous day, the Chargers forget about him in short yardage. Wide open again. Denver Broncos with a sizable run, 8 yards. That's their longest run of the game. First down.
Well, the Denver Broncos are now over 40 yards. I thought I'd give you that bit of news.
Well, that's what makes this team, you think it can be really good because they've been built on the running game so far this year. You stop it, so what? Now contend with John Elway, Shannon Sharpe, and Anthony Miller, and Ed McCaffrey.
Davis in the backfield behind Elway. Obviously feeling better after the migraine attack in the first half. Davis to the 15-yard line. Sayal the tackle.
I'll tell you what's happening now is the defensive line and linebackers are catching. They're sitting down. We saw the big rushes for 3 quarters, and now watch what happens at the line.
Watch Shannon Sharpe, 220 pounds, trying to block Marco Coleman, 270 pounds.
He'll get some help with Zimmerman.
Well, so he still did a pretty good job. And Mike Shanahan said, when I came here, if he was not going to be a good blocking tight end, I would have made him an H-back or a wide receiver.
Probably the lightest of NFL tight ends. And productive as well. McCaffrey close to a first down at the 10-yard line. Terrence Shaw made the stop.
I mean, Shannon Sharpe is not a trained killer now, Paul, blocking. But he does, he gets in the way, and think about it. He's so athletic, and he has good hands. He's able to get into the defensive people and turn them and just shield them off. While Terrell Davis, goes flying through there.
When I just saw you doing those 3 touchdowns, Dick, how do you forget this guy's in the game? I mean, to me, that's mind-boggling. 13 passes, 3 touchdowns.
First down at the 10. That was short yardage, 3rd and short, and Elway easily with a first down on the sneak.
Well, and we see John Elway for the first time this year running the quarterback sneak, and he laughed about it to us yesterday. He says, yeah, the week before the bye week, next week we get off, Mike Shanahan says, to heck with it. Let me get beat up a little. I'll heal during the off week.
They have to put the quarterback sneak in when you have Junior Sayal in the game.
Yeah, that's right.
Guess where I'm running? It ain't going to be a junior.
Both these teams will enjoy the off week next Sunday. First and goal. Denver, 21-17, they lead. Anthony Miller, right down in the end zone. Interference against Denver. No touchdown.
Offensive pass interference. Number 83. That's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
So that's why he was so wide open.
That helps. Anthony Miller, number 83, going down the end zone, trying to get inside.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That is not pass interference. If you have one thing, it could be an illegal check by the defensive back after 5 yards. Look at Anthony. I don't blame you, Anthony. This is a bad call.
Go down in the end zone, and there's going to be contact in the end zone. But he did not initiate the contact.
That is a terrible call.
It is indeed. Cost a touchdown, plus the penalty yards, out to the 17. Mike Shanahan in disbelief along with this partisan crowd in Denver. Well, maybe that means Shannon Sharpe will get his 4th. He's way out here to the bottom of your picture. Elway, underneath. Davis to the 9-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and goal.
I said something back in the first quarter. It may not be a rushing touchdown in this game. And the way you look at it, the way this thing is going, I mean, they're going to have to throw it in the end zone. And Bobby Ross, I'd say this guy, you say Boss Ross, he is the boss.
Still with his military training, a former tank commander, even refers to us as sir.
I can understand that what you and I did with Paul, sir.
Second and goal tonight on the blitz. And it was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Unfortunate for the Broncos, not picked off.
You think that John Elway did not see Junior Seau and Bush coming, the two linebackers on the outside? Nobody touched him. And he saw Junior Seau out of the right side. Here comes Junior. Look at this. He's not even touched. Elway had to get rid of that baby.
Seau able to deflect it.
Here's Elway. You're seeing his eyes. Look at this. Ooh, Junior.
Yeah.
Ooh, Junior.
Those baby blues turned very mature blue in a hurry. Second, actually third and goal now.
The tackle of Harrison and Mims. Mims gets out to the outside, and they both miss the tackle.
John Elway's fourth touchdown throw, but it was McCaffrey's run after the catch. Elam adds the extra point. 28 unanswered points by the Denver Broncos. John Elway at it again.
For the touchdown.
Denver now 28-17. Elam to Andre Coleman at the 1. Good coverage. Coleman unable to get to the 20-yard line. Back to the touchdown. Elway. John Elway rallying his team from 17-0. Look at this brilliant day. He's missed on only 8 for the 6th time in his career. 4 touchdowns or more. Humphreys fumble. It goes out of bounds. After the catch by Papunu in possession of the Chargers, they actually lose about a half yard on the play. Alan Aldridge made the tackle.
See, the rule in professional football is this. If you fumble the ball forward, you get the ball back where you fumbled it if it goes out of bounds. But if you fumble the ball and it goes backwards, you lose the yardage.
They call it second down and 10. Chargers had 7 drives early that were very productive, but they haven't done much lately, and that's when the crowd came into the game. Now it's third down as we go for an update to New York. In Buffalo, Marshall Falk back for the unbeaten Colts. Third down and 10 for Humphreys. Sidearms it complete to Fletcher, and Fletcher stopped after a gain of 4, and the Chargers will have to punt. And this crowd noise is the loudest by far that we've heard this year.
This and this Bronco defense. Dick, we said it a couple weeks ago. We got a chance to see him for the first time this year. Fast and aggressive.
That's what Shanahan's priority was, to add speed to the defense. They are so much improved the last 2 years.
The new center, James May.
James May, the tight end, is David Benn, who's on this team only because he's a superb snapper of the ball. So this could be an adventure. Good snap by May. Flag down. And there must have been a league, and that's why he has a job. And then Greg Engel is his backup, and Engel was one of those put on the inactive for today. So May, tight end from North Carolina, in a very tough spot here. Perhaps one of the reasons why the Chargers didn't go for a long field goal. Remember when they went for it 4th and 7 down at the 39-yard line of Denver, because they didn't want to risk a snap and a block. Kinchin waiting as deep as you can get, way back at the 28-yard line with Bennett. He'll kick the ball from around his 9-yard line, and the man at the other end is inside his 30.
Usually the punt returner gets back about 40 yards so he can move a few yards forward or back, and Kitchen is back 55 yards. Almost 60 yards. He's back there waiting for the punt.
But I love Kitchen, though. I mean, this guy loves to return him.
Deems made a try again. There it goes. Good job by Bennett. That'll hurt his average, and that's a shame in a way for a guy with such a great leg. but he was trying to overcome the error by May and just get the ball downfield. Out of bounds.
You know, this really is a tough situation for a guy to come in. I mean, look at that snap. I mean, he lifts that ball up. It's amazing the defensive guy doesn't whack it, but that ball only got about halfway back.
He rolled it back there.
It'll be Denver's ball at the San Diego 44-yard line. Ball from the 45. First time Denver started possession in San Diego territory. Terrell Davis showing he still can motor. He was stuffed for 3 quarters, but starting to pick up some significant yardage at this point. Well, look ahead. Tuesday night, the American League.
Coach of the Yankees are going to win.
John Elway was signed by the Yankees Farm Club. Hit .318 his only year in the minors. He still roots for the system. Showing he can be the cleanup hitter, cleaning up this victory for Denver as he picks up the first down. 28-17 Denver.
This says a little about the Denver Broncos offensive team. Here they're getting in a situation. San Diego knows they're going to run the football. Still, you can see the big hole that offensive line opened up for Terrell Davis.
You know, and you mentioned this before, Dick. This is one of the smaller lines in the National Football League, but yet they are just doing the job.
So you had 12. He had only 10 yards rushing total through 3 periods. He had the migraine headaches in the first half, sat out most of the half. But San Diego really had defensed him well when he was in there. Willie Clark grabbing on anything he can get. Fans thought he had the face mask, but he was right around the collar of Davis.
Did you see that move? Terrell Davis was trying to get down. Good, better move. Don't go out of bounds to stop the clock. Get down, keep the clock moving, and get this game over with.
Well, that's what they've said about this young man from day one. He's so intelligent, didn't make any mistakes as a rookie. Remember when he told us with those big eyes last year, he said, hey, I was just hoping I'd make the practice.
Yeah, he was on the practice squad, and look what happens. Rushes for over 1,000 yards and had a spectacular season.
21st running back taken in the draft a year ago. What a pick for Denver. Fake to Davis. Elway. Lots of real estate and finally slides into second base at the 16.
Well, he was trying to get the ball downfield to Anthony Miller, who was covered one-on-one on the outside. But when Elway went on that roll, he looked out there. There were no linebackers. There was nobody there. He said, why not? Let's go.
The old man can still run. And
the old man?
Well, he's old in football. He's old. But he was thinking, he had a quote this past weekend. Cincy last week, he moved around and made some plays. And he says, you know, I felt like an iron deer before this game. I was just going back in that pocket and standing there waiting to get hit. So he's at his best when he ad-libs, moves around, and makes things happen.
Yeah, he said, I'm not going to be an iron deer in my front yard anymore. Vaughn Hebron, who has terrific acceleration, as you can see, and that caught the eye of Mike Shanahan, who picked him up as a free agent. And an injury on the play. Time permitting, following our game, we'll be switching to Buffalo for the conclusion of that Colts-Bills game, so stay with us. Dwayne Gordon, backup linebacker, the injured Charger. Indianapolis, unbeaten, 4-0, and doing much of that without the services of Marshall Faulk. Faulk, after the bye week, healthy, and scoring the tying touchdown, as you saw, in the second half. Shannon Sharp, slow getting up as well.
One other thing I'd like to share about Terrell Davis, we did him a few weeks ago about him. We said, what do you have to learn? What is it you need to work on? He said, everything. You know, and that just shows the class of this young man when he just said, you know, there's nothing that I cannot learn.
And how he handles his success, Dick, I think is what impresses all of us and the coaching staff of the Denver Broncos.
And his teammates. He was offered a lucrative radio show here in Denver. He said, no, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm concentrating on football. And meanwhile, Shannon Sharp, who, like his brother, is very verbal.
Yes.
But they both back it up, don't they, with that production? And what a day for him.
Well, I like what he said yesterday, too, because he was always the go-to guy. He and Elway had to bring this team back from behind. And he said, now, we're all team players in this. He said, when I'm not supposed to be in the pattern, I've got to take my fakes out to the fullest. I got to make sure that I have somebody cover me. I can't be just moving around doing nothing.
Well, they had to quit worrying about stats. Don't worry about stats. Just do what's best for the team. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're 4-1 and soon to be 5-1.
Terrell Davis. The 3-yard line. across, makes the tackle, first and goal.
Well, this is the young man we're talking about, Terrell Davis. Look at him get to the outside. Inside, pops back to the outside. Also excellent blocking. You've got to give an awful lot of credit to this offensive line of the Denver Broncos. And I'll tell you who else. The receivers downfield, they are doing a great job.
You know, Davis has a lot to worry about, though, as you look at his bio. He's concerned about a Sports Illustrated article of the photographs next week. He says, I don't have any furniture. You know,
go to one of your friend's house. He has a nice house and say it's yours. Take the pictures there.
First and goal. Davis to the yard-and-a-half mark. Seau saves the touchdown. Junior slow getting up, as is Davis.
Well, Junior Seau's been hampered a little bit by a hamstring injury, and as the game goes on, it gets weaker and weaker on him. But Junior Seau gets back to the inside and makes another play. I remember a couple years ago, Dick, when Seau played with just one arm, and it was sad watching him. But he said, I will probably never be totally healthy. I don't think many of these guys are, do you?
Well, it's just such a violent game and so much hitting, it's hard to be completely healthy.
From the 1, second and goal. Elway waits for another second to tick off, using all he can. 2 minutes, 24 seconds remain in this fourth quarter. Elway and the Broncos, what a comeback day. Would equal his best ever mark, and that came 12 seasons ago against the Minnesota Vikings.
What are you laughing about?
Anthony Miller was John Elway threw the ball away because the blitz was on again, but Anthony Miller's in the end zone. The ball's almost in the stands, and he's looking up to take, where is it? Where is it?
Well, finally, San Diego didn't go for that play-action fake, and Lewis Bush was heading straight for the quarterback, and it's a good read of John Elway just getting rid of the football.
Third and goal at the 1. Miller left, McCaffrey right, Shannon Sharp on the left side. Elway driving to the goal line, but not in. It'll be 4th and inches for Denver, and they'll let the clock run down to the 2-minute timeout. Reuben Davis was the big guy to plug up the hole against Elway.
I kick a field goal here to put that game to 14 points.
Well, they've got a full minute plus to talk it over. 4th and goal for the Broncos at the 2-minute warning. Elway and the Broncos. Elway diving. Did he get in? No signal yet. I believe they're going to mark it outside the goal line. Yes, the Chargers do hold.
Boy, I thought he got in easily.
Well, the problem is he pulled the ball down. You've got to get the ball. If he sticks it over the goal line, here we are. Take a look at it. Does he pull the ball down?
A good surge.
All right, he's got the ball down. He's trying to get it up, but they won't allow it. Phil. We don't see it there. Now, do we see it on this side? The reverse angle. John Elway, only the ball's got to touch the goal line.
You don't see the ball. Neither linesman could see the ball. So.
I don't think he got it up there either. You're right, Paul. He could have. If he'd have put the ball in front of him, it might have been a touchdown.
See, he gets the ball down his chest, and he can't get it up. And I think that's what, and they block the ball out. Junior Seau.
So Stan Humphries with 1:53 left. Oh, hit hard as he tried to make a catch. Tony Martin. Ray Crockett delivering the blow. Here's a reminder that following the game on most of these stations, it's Dateline Sunday, then 2 all-new must-see comedies, Third Rock, From the Sun, and Boston Common. Viewers on the West Coast, of course, will see those shows at their regularly scheduled time.
See, I told you wouldn't be any rushing touchdowns.
And we'll go to Buffalo, where the Colts and Bills are tied at 10 in the 4th at the end of this game. Humphries to Fletcher. Terrell Fletcher to the 9-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down. Tyrone Braxton, Bill Romanowski the tackle. 1:39 left. Timeout called San Diego. And again, stay with us. You'll see what should. For this effort, he's only got 7. Humphries on the sneak. Did he fumble? Yes, he must have. And Denver says they have the ball.
But the official says he's down. He is down. Stop. Forward progress. Stop.
And a flag was thrown by official downfield in front of the Denver bench. And he runs into that number 68, the back judge. And apparently there's going to be an unsportsmanlike against Denver.
The runner was ruled down by by contact. We have a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Denver bench.
That could have been anyone, not necessarily Mike Shanahan, on the Denver sidelines.
Well, they're saying right here that he is down by contact, and he is. That's a good call by the officials. The other one was, you got to stay off the playing field. And what's happening is the Denver Broncos are excited about winning this football game. Pick it up.
No, it's Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator.
Out on the field. He was out on the field voicing his opinion to the referee.
1:32. Clock stopped with a penalty that helps San Diego. What a tackle. Tim Hawk, the veteran from Montana, in the open field with a stop. 1:19, 1:18 clock running. San Diego got the first 17 points and Denver 28 cents. Humphreys, flag down, dumps it off to Omar Ellison. And Ellison with his first catch of the season.
And they did it, but I mean, ever since they got 17, the whole thing fell apart.
It's interesting, the three teams in the West, Kansas City, Denver, San Diego, have all beaten each other when they were the home team. Fletcher keeps the running across the 30 to the 34. Kansas City beat Denver in Kansas City. San Diego then beat the Chiefs in San Diego. Now San Diego comes here and Denver wins on the home field. And now the late report from Buffalo is the Colts have just kicked a field goal to take a 13-10 lead. We'll be going there as soon as the final gun sounds at Mile High.
Only undefeated team in the NFL.
And we've said it many times. If you're a football fan at all and have no allegiance, how could you not like watching Jim Harbaugh and the Colts?
I'll tell you, that is a very well-coached football team.
Yes, they are.
On both sides of the ball.
They're aggressive on both sides of the ball, and it's so much fun to watch them because of that. Lindy and Fonte and his offense, well, you never know what you're going to see, and every game they come up with a few new wrinkles that add excitement to these football games.
What I liked about it, he takes the head coaching job, Dick, but he remains the offensive coordinator of the football team.
He couldn't have got the job without being the offensive coordinator.
That was the condition underneath again to Fletcher. Chargers taking what Denver will give, but it will take you forever to go all the way down the field, gaining 5-6 yards a crack, and there's now only 42 seconds left. Romanowski and Braxton making the tackle. No huddle for Humphreys. Williams buries Humphreys. Alfred Williams just plants Stan Humphreys.
And Stan Humphreys is down, and I'll tell you, you're right, Phil. This guy takes such a beating. I mean, he got beat up all day long. They split his chin open.
And then you get to the final minute, and hopefully it's not a serious injury.
I mean, Alfred, I'll tell you what, Stan Humphreys really didn't see him coming. He stayed there to throw the ball, to try to complete the pass. And the worst part about it is, would he throw it to Fletcher? He drops the ball. I mean, you're going to take a lick like that, and the guy drops the ball. At least catch it.
Well, Humphreys, we've talked superlatives about John Elway, deserved. You know, Humphreys, 23 for 35, 2 touchdowns, no intercepts. He's 3 sacks, and he's been hit another 7-8 times, right? Hard.
Yeah, he's played extremely well, but one of the things we noticed watching the San Diego Chargers coming into the game, watching film, all the big hits this quarterback keeps taking week in and week out. And you just can't be that lucky. I don't care how tough you are.
Well, look at it. You see the hurries. 8 knockdowns, 3 sacks, and 1 deflection.
And a lot of those hits have been, they're not pushing him down. They're solid blows and falling on top of him. And that's when you get hurt. Just like then, Alfred Williams falling on top of the quarterback. That's when you're the most dangerous position.
Now Humphreys trying to collect whatever.
Yeah, they grabbed the back of his neck.
I'll tell you, you know, ever since this guy moved to San Diego, where he really had the opportunity to play, I really respect this Stan Humphreys. I just think that this guy has a lot of guts, because he'll stand in there and take the lick just to complete a pass.
He's got guts, but he also has a lot of talent.
Oh yeah, he does.
Like we talked about, he just doesn't get credit for the talent that he really has.
Well, that picture says it all. Helped off the field, blood stains from the earlier pop on the chin from Glenn Cadrez. And now Sean Salisbury with 34 seconds. He's played briefly, 3 for 6 on the season.
And that was their last timeout. They had to take a timeout there, so they have no.
Fletcher a short yardage play. Clock stopped with the penalty, 27 seconds.
Michael Dean Perry's helping out the officials, telling them they were holding me.
Personal foul, illegal chop block, illegal chop block against the right guard. That's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
There's Michael Dean Perry. I loved his line. He's, along with being a terrific athlete, he's got a great sense of humor.
The right guard, Isaac Davis. Michael Dean is engaged with the center, Courtney Hall, the left guard.
Well, that's on Courtney Hall. He leg whips him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about illegal chalk. That's an illegal leg whip.
You know, you're his favorite announcer, Paul McGuire.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
He paid you such a nice compliment the other day. He
Yes,
said,
he did.
I wish I were like you because sleep wouldn't matter. He said, whether you get 2 hours or 12 hours, you still wake up ugly.
Oh, he was beating you up.
I know he did. I'll get back at him. I'm saving my good stuff till the latter part of the year.
Is that it?
Oh, sure.
Are you saying Michael Dean is pretty? Is that what you're telling me?
No, he's not.
Fletcher again. He's been the workhorse in this, what has become a meaningless drive. And now the clock will let it out, 16-15. And this is a victory to be celebrated by these Broncos. Down 17-0. Elway and Shannon Sharp connect 3 times. Elway throws 4 touchdown passes. A career game for this man, tight end Sharp. And Denver moves into a tie for first place. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. John, another comeback today. Is there ever any point, you're down 17, is there ever any point in the game where you feel you can't come back and win?
No, especially with this offense. And, you know, we kind of beat ourselves at first half, and we knew if we could start playing our game that we were going to move the football. So defense came through the second half and shut them out and allowed us to catch up.
This was vintage old John Elway. You had to abandon the running game with Terrell's headache, didn't you?
Yeah, we did, and they were taking it away. There wasn't a whole lot. They were playing 8-man front, so when they play 8-man up front, then we're going to have to start throwing the ball. So it was fun.
You're ageless. Let's go back upstairs to Dick Enbrook.
4 touchdown passes for John Elway, 28-17. The Denver Broncos have defeated the San Diego Chargers. Not only 32 completions and 4 touchdowns for Elway, he took a hit from Chris Mims in the middle of this game that would have put an average guy in the hospital for a month and a half. All right, that's the conclusion here at Mile High. Let's send you to Buffalo for the Colts and the Bills.